very tall, and you can stand. Actually, John, you kind of do need to be up in the front. Whoever is tall can stand. Now, some of you said that we need to have water, right? Now, I would ask that you look at the table and that you don't lean on the table, because I, in fact, do have various kinds of water and oil and things on here. Right here, this is yeast, and I have yeast in 2 different items. So I'm going to let you pass this around. You can smell it. It doesn't really smell like anything. See? Here, go ahead.
What is it?
You can shake it, pass it on around. That is yeast. This is another bag of yeast, so I just filled my little jar.
Redstone.
Yep, redstone yeast. It says it's active dry, so if you touch it, it's not wet at all. I'm going to take it, we want to make it grow. So let's pour some in here. Whoa, that's loud.
Oh, just they're little small grains.
Those are little small grains. We're
Yeah,
just
they're
gonna
little small
cover
grains. It's not that big.
some of this. Shh.
They're not like pebbles.
I'll let you can pass this around too if you'd like to.
They're not like pebbles.
Some of you said, please do not touch this. Some said that we could use oil. So I'm going to put oil in one of these.
They don't mix. That's cool.
We are seeing if yeast will rise. And let's just mix this. We'll mix this up. Veda, would you like to mix this? Okay, go ahead. You can mix. Let's see here. I have also in this container, I have flour. Now, my hypothesis said I think you need flour and hot water to make yeast rise. So I'm going to put flour in one of these.
It looks like ice cream.
And you know what? I'm actually going to put flour in, I'm just going to put flour in one. So, and I say I have, oh, here's my cold water. I have cold water right here. Now let's see. Very good. Thank you. So we have the yeast with the, now I'm going to put the yeast just in the cold water, right there, like that. And I'm wondering, since you're right here, just give that a stir for me, please. Take your elbows off of the table.
Some of it fell to the bottom.
You can just listen. Just stand and listen. Now, I am wondering if we could make yeast rise. Thank you. If we just need hot water. Maybe we only need hot water and yeast. What do you think about that? Just hot water and yeast? Okay, let's see. And you know, who said that you think we should just put it in sunlight? Who said that? Okay, you go take that and you can find some sunlight in the classroom and put it in the sunlight. All right, and then we have the last one. Now I'm going to ask for you right here, you can stir that. And mine is the water and the yeast. Remember, it's just the water and the yeast. But this is hot water. Now you can touch this. It is warm. If you do touch it, it might actually be rather hot. Pretty warm, isn't it? So, ooh, it is warm, isn't it? Okay, if you would like to touch this, you can down here. But just, it's rather warm. We don't want to spill that one. Okay, and I'm going to have you just stir this right there, Sophia. Just hold it right there. Okay, so remember, one is just the water with the yeast. This is the hot water and the yeast. This is just the yeast and the flour. I'm sorry, this is the yeast and the cold water. And this is the yeast and the oil. So before I came to see you today, I did this experiment. But here's my question. Is it rising at all in any of these?
No.
Yes.
Which one? Really? What's it rising in?
Oil.
Is the oil rising?
It looks like sand.
Well, if you look at it, it's not dissolved. So dissolved means that it like disappears in the solution. Is this one dissolved with the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and this is the warm water. What about this one? Is this one kind of dissolved?
Yeah.
But not all the way. But do we see the yeast rising in any of these? No. Do we see the yeast rising with this one?
No.
And I do have more volume, so I have more water in this one. Now, I realized after I did this experiment that not only do we need material things, but we also need a little bit of time. Exactly. And so I did this experiment today, approximately an hour and a half ago. And look at what happened. So this is my control. So I'll show you. This is my second one. The ones without the spoons are my first experiment. So look, so see, this is the yeast. And in fact, when I'm finished, I'll let you all come closer and look. Because I'm sorry, there's just not enough space for everybody to see it. So this is the yeast with the oil. What about, if you just had to take one glance, what is it? Does it look about the same?
Yeah. No.
Did the yeast rise?
No.
No, it didn't rise in this one. What about, you know what this one is? This is the hot water with the yeast, exactly. Do they look the same?
Yes.
Yep.
Kind of.
Okay, so what about, oh, in fact, this is the yeast with the cold water because I didn't put a lid on it. This was the yeast with the hot water. What about, is it this, I mean,
It doesn't really look different.
it doesn't really look different, does it? Except,
for the cups. Yeah, the color.
yeah, the cups.
that's
Now, look at the one that I had with flour and hot water. So this went rising. Does everybody see this? Can you see this? Okay, so what did I need to have the yeast rise? What did we need for this?
Flour, hot water.
Flour, hot water, and
Time.
time. Okay, let's look in this. Let's look in the sun. Jamie, is the yeast rising? Do you think it will rise? What do you think? Do you think that will rise? Maybe we should leave that there overnight. You want to?
But
Okay.
then it would stop rising because the sun would be gone. Well, then let's see what it does in the night.
We should. Yeah, maybe it'll rise over the night.
And then
We should leave that there and see that. Don't you think?
put it like the red. See if it rises.
I know. So, I mean, the janitor could throw that away. That's very true. And we'll see if any of these rise. I mean, maybe this one will rise.
Oh, that smells like
I know, it smells like bread.
It smells like bread. This smells like soup. This one smells like bread. Yeah.
What I'm going to do, for all of the students who have not had a chance to see down here, I'm going to stand up and you can look at this, but when you're done looking and you know how yeast rises, you can go back to your desk and you can fill out the exact hypothesis